All right, so one of the rare lives that I do on this channel, but I wanted to do something on the custard because there's something to this custard, right? So we're going to set this at, let's turn the light on. Really dirty stove, sorry ahead of time. We're going to set this at 350, right? We're going to preheat that at 350. And you can see I have my 3 eggs out, right? You can decide, and this is something that I got last week. It makes the custard kind of watery, right? So I ordered this today, right? And so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make this custard, right? So what I do, I didn't charge up this blender, but I use it as a shaker. So all you really need is a shaker when you do this. So we're going to do 3 eggs, and we're going to do slightly less protein powder than I typically do. So if I do a 4 egg custard, and I save these eggshells, right? I save these eggshells to the point where I've got a stockpile of eggshells, but I will microwave those eggshells, right? Get that back. I will microwave those eggshells. I'll microwave the hell out of those eggshells, even to the point where I wasn't taking the magnesium into consideration and how hot it was. And that thing blew up right next to my ear the other day when I was coming off a live on another channel. But here we've got the protein powder, right? I did not order this. I've got all these supplies and more coming for my carnivore so I can stay on it. So I'm not coming back off of it, right? So we're going to do less than a scoop here. We're going to do less than a scoop because we only have about 6 scoops left. So that's why I'm kind of cutting back on that, right? So I want it to last as long as possible, right? So we're going to just add a 3/4 of a scoop in, and that's a lot of protein. Like that's 20 grams right there. And then you've got 3 to 5 grams, let's say, realistically, that is contained in the eggs there between the yolk and the white. Okay? And then I'm going to add here. Let's add in some fresh water here. Okay? I used to be one that did not believe in doing Walmart brand, and I'm a recent convert. So that'll fluff up just a little bit, and I will probably add a little more water in there. But this is how easy it is. I don't have the blender charged up, but you want to shake the hell out of this thing, right? And this is just how easy the custard is to make. And I'm telling you, like, if you were broke and you couldn't do anything else, carnivore or keto, that this custard here tastes so good. So I'm contemplating if I want to put this in, right? Knowing the results that I got with this one, where it actually didn't allow me to bake the custard and get a real thick. So just as it is right now, if I really mix it up, right? So I'm thinking that I want to add that swerve brown sugar in after. So that's heating up. Now what we do is we just take any pot that you've got that's larger than what you're using, the container you're using, right? Boy, that's ugly, but my son has cooked Asian food like professionally, and so that wok has been well loved, right? So you want to make sure that it can float a little bit and you're getting the full benefit out of that. And you can preheat the water. Like I do find that when you preheat the water, so a lot of times I'll just leave that in there. Sometimes I'll add oil in the mix, but it makes it more dense, right? So I'm not going to add any oil in at all. All I have, if you saw, 3 eggs and 3/4 scoop of protein. And you can choose any flavor you want with this protein powder. And it ends up tasting amazing. So this is where you kind of want to splurge getting a protein that you really like the flavor of, because it will, like if you have a protein that is like if you really love certain things like um the Trick cereal, like you see all these hybrid protein powders out there, right? And it's like when you taste them, they're a little disappointing, right? A lot disappointing, because you're like, well, I'm just drinking protein. What's the point? Well, once you put it into this custard, you're getting your money's worth with whatever protein. So you look at the ghost protein that's on Amazon, you know, you look at the ISO 100. So we're going to set that for 35 minutes, right? Set that for 35 minutes. And in 35 minutes, it will be perfectly hardened. And then what I'm probably going to be doing is I'll be adding this in. Now, this one's different than this one. This one has erythritol, allulose, and monk fruit, right? And I've been using this every day. This one has more of those sugar alcohols in it, which I don't really know what to think about it, you know? Um, I'm on the fence with it. I even tried to cancel this order because of that, but this has erythritol and allulose blended. But they just had to put those sugar alcohols that you see and like Werther's originals and all that, or not originals, they wouldn't be, but they're the original flavor. And so in 35 minutes, I'm going to have a nice, I worked out earlier. I'm going to start doing that more often. Good news is that I'll be getting the resources to do the 360 cam very soon in the coming weeks, getting a gym membership. So as promised, it's a couple weeks behind. Originally, I thought it was going to be the beginning of February, but I'm going to be getting out there doing some 10Ks, going on some awesome walks, runs. You know, I'm 159 pounds. I can run. I can do those things. Getting some open toe shoes, which I love. I don't perform real well in like your typical shoes, so the open toed shoes are a must for me. And more gym time. I do post up lives on my other channels, and I don't like to bog people down with all my discussions of theology, philosophy, physics. You know, it's like when I'm working out, and that's why the 360 cams will be very refreshing and give people something to look at. To where I'm, you know, if I'm running my mouth, you can kind of look around. And I do enjoy editing, so I've got this. I may be getting this Omen computer fixed, that which I got from my son a couple of years ago. That's a really nice one as well. But I'll probably be getting something that I can do some editing on, to where I can edit some good videos and do more professional type videos, you know. And right now I'm transitioning from the taking that stamina that I got from all that long, slow distance walking over the past 4.5 months. This is my third day of just doing resistance training, and it feels phenomenal. So look out for some great videos to come on that. And I'll be doing another training session today, so you never know. But it's going to take a week or two. You know, if you're going through this transition where you're adhering to a more long, slow distance, continuous training, doing what works for you, but trying to get full body systemic type training sessions in, right? Which I did full body today. I did everything from jump squats to single arm push-ups, pull-ups, leg lifts, sit-ups, you know, you name it, and even side bridges. And I'll probably be doing something a little later on today. Shoulders are still sore from yesterday. Getting leaner, coming out with that HD definition. But yesterday I had such a huge carnivore meal where I ate 2 Shack burgers, 6 pieces of bacon, and then covered it, drenched it in cheddar, and I put pictures up on that. And I'll tell you, I was like comatose. I couldn't move. So it kind of messed up. It very much did impact my energy, where the blood flow was going, like it wasn't going into the muscle. And it's already a challenge when you're cutting your carbohydrates back completely, nearly completely, because there is a little more in the curing of that bacon. There's a little more carbohydrates than I feel comfortable with, but I was like, I got to get some flavor in here if I'm going to stick on this. So when you start to see your body weight get down there and you're getting a little leaner, like I'm realistically within 5 pounds now. Like whereas before I would say that, I got that little 5 pounds of chub on the waist. And so that's why, I said I wasn't going to be walking, but I'm trying to work to the place where I'm doing a base of 250 calories or 3.5 miles of walking per day, 5 days a week, and keep that as my base, right? Because I want to be able to transition in the coming weeks to do these runs and to start doing video footage right away. Like, I really want to do some like live action cam type stuff, getting down on the beach, things like that, right? So it always, it's last minute resistance. If you have goals and you have things that you're trying to accomplish and you feel like everything is standing in your way, try breaking past that barrier with everything you have. But, faith, love, hope, mercy, compassion, passion, trust, duty, honor, union, grace, those things mean a lot, and temperance and care. And you're always going to have to come back from a pure centered place where you sacrifice, where you express, where you connect to wisdom, community, production, ego, a healthy ego, and then expressing that through pure truth. That's the salvation that we all must live by. So I better set the timer. It's been about 5 minutes. We're going to set the timer with Siri, and in 30 minutes, we'll post some pictures on that. All right, be well. God bless you. Thank you for your viewership.